starting this morning's practice in a child's pose. Let your knees go really wide. Yep. Energetically reach your arms forward towards the front edge of your mat. Drop your seat. Let the front of the forehead rest. And take a couple cycles of breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Yeah. Feel the air as it moves through the back of your throat. And when you're down here in your child's pose, just walk your hands without your whole body. Walk your hands over to the right. So keep your forehead down. Your hands walk over to the right. Yeah. Yeah. And then through center, walk your hands a little bit to the left. Yeah. It's not like your whole body is going for a walk. It's just a little bit through the upper shoulders. And then pull back to center and really activate your hands. Spread your palms really wide. Feel the connection with the ground. Begin to seal your lips and breathe through the back of your throat. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Good. Curl your toes into the mat. Lift your hips. Come up to a downward facing dog. Take up a lot of space on your mat in here this morning for this first down dog. Make sure your index fingers are facing forward. Creases of the wrists are forward. Bend behind your knees as much as you need this morning so you get access to your hamstrings and you can really get a nice opening. Lift through the sides of your body. Let your hips lift higher than everything else. Let your head go. And then pick a drishti point, something to focus on. Spread the toes really wide and just begin to feel. Feel your body. So doing yoga is just about creating shapes in our body. Lots of different shapes. New dimensions to ourselves on our mats. So if your knees are really bent, they may need to stay really bent for the entire practice, or maybe begin to lengthen a little bit more. Plug down, use the ground. Feel your outer arms hug in. And if you're wondering how to access that, press through the baby fingers, the thumb, the index finger. Your whole hand is useful. And just begin to link breath. A nice full smooth inhale, followed by a deeper, maybe even more powerful exhale, but try not to breathe through your mouth. Breathe through the back of your nose, through your throat. Roll forward to a plank. Align yourself the best that you can this morning. If you have something going on in your body, or as I say, something going on in your mind, and you need to drop your knees to support the pose, this is a great alternative for today's practice, and always. If not, you're fired up. The thighs are engaged, the hands are pressing into the mat, and there's a broadening of your upper shoulders. Get in the nature of the practice of looking forward just a little bit to keep your neck nice and neutral. The second we start to look back, we round everything. Just feel. Feel your outer hips hug in. Feel the sides of your knees hug in. Feel your outer ankle bones hug in. And lengthen everything. Move the weight a little bit more forward into the balls of your tippy toes. If we're sitting back, we're not going to get what we need. So bring more weight forward. Stay for a few more breaths. Allow your body just to begin to feel the practice. More importantly, the meditation. So when we're still in these poses, we are reaching a place of meditation, hopefully. Draw the navel to the back of the spine. Squeeze in. Take another big breath in. On the exhale breath, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let your head go. Roll forward one more time, plank position. Let your weight transfer you forward. Yeah, stack your body, lift your hip points a little. Bring your gaze a little forward. Good. Drop your knees if you need support right here. Bend your elbows in half chaturanga. If you can lower with your elbows by your side body, your knees not down, that's great. If not, drop your knees. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. Good, keeping your hands where they are, just walk your feet in a little closer and a little bit wider. So you're taking a wider down dog with your feet, a little tighter and a little wider with your feet, but keep your hands the same. Yeah, let your head go. Feel the back side of your body. You may have more access to your hamstrings here. Your heels may actually touch the ground, and if they still don't, that's okay. Let your neck just be free. Feel your outer arms firm up. Keep pressing down. Now, all you're gonna do is slide your right hand to your left shin, somewhere on your left leg. If you can't grab your shin, that's okay. Just grab the outer part of your thigh. And then you're gonna gently begin to turn your ribs and look underneath your left armpit. If you're outside, look up towards the sky. If you're inside, look up towards your ceiling. Now, try and keep your right arm straight. So see if you can straighten your arm. And then breathe. If you notice your whole body kind of doing a turn, that's not what we're looking for. Do a little less. Breathe. Begin to move your eyes back down to the floor. Right palm firms up. You're back in this shorter, fatter, tighter, downward facing dog. Pause. Look back to your right shin now, your right leg. Take your left hand and start to reach. So you're just taking a twist here. Somewhere on your right leg, your shin, your ankle, if you're more flexible, up higher if this isn't working. Begin to look underneath your right armpit now. Begin to turn your ribs a little bit and twist subtly. Keep your hips aligned though, and really firm up your right arm. Press down. Another big breath in. Begin to move your dristi down to the mat. Left palm goes flat. Pause. Good. Keeping your hands where they are, walk your feet back out to a regular downward facing dog. Shift into plank. You got it. Bend your elbows to a chaturanga. You support, you skip. Nobody cares. Pull yourself to an up dog. Take it slow. If this isn't great for your lower back, you drop to a cobra. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Look to the top of the mat. Press down through your hands. Really firm up your arms. Start to look forward and come very, very slow on your tippy toes. Start to creep to the top of your mat. Very, very slow. Once you arrive, get your feet all the way up to the top. Come to the fingertips, long spine. If the hands don't quite make it, hands rest on shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Good. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor. Drag your hands to prayer at heart center. Stand up tall, drop your arms by your side body. Feel the thigh bones engaged. Feel your feet grounding you. Feel your chest lifted. Pick a dristi point. Linking movement with breath. Stretch your arms up. Look up subtly. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Dive over bent knees. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart center. These are amended sun A's. Drop your arms, reach up, move with control. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You have a little arch in your back when you do that. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Start to link your breath. Stretch up. Everyone breathes a little different. Dive in half. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Your shoulders draw down into your back. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Stretch up. Energize yourself. Dive over bent knees. Come to the fingertips, long spine, plant your palms, 2 big steps to get you back to plank. Broaden your arms, press your palms firmly into the mat, bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Keep your gaze a little forward. Lead with your heart and chest for an upward facing, point your toes. Take a downward facing dog, hips press back. So just a little different today. Look at your hands. Step your right foot forward towards your right wrist. Drop your knee. Make sure your knee is on an angle here, guys, and your kneecap isn't jamming into the mat. Sweep your arms out and up. Lift from your waist. Spread your fingers. Bring your chest through your body a little. Feel your right heel anchor. Bring your hands down to the floor. Fire up the back kneecap. Press through the hands. Feel your outer arms. From here, step to a down dog. Glide your left foot forward. Drop the knee on an angle. Integrate your left foot and heel and your leg and sweep up. Supported lunge. Scissor your thighs together. Work on the precision of the pose. Hands to the floor. Anchor the back leg, lift the kneecap, press the palms from your core, down dog. Try it again. Glide your right foot forward, drop the knees. Just building momentum, a little different. Stretch up. Hands come down. Back leg strong, arms grip in. Step to a down dog. From your core, glide your left foot forward, drop your knee. Movement and breath. Hands come down. Firm up your arms, press into the mat, step back, downward facing dog. One more time each side. Right foot forward, drop your knee. Reach up. Hands come down, back leg strong, down dog. Glide your left foot forward, drop your knee. I think it feels good, but I could be the only one. Stretch up big. Hands come down, activate, use your core, the sides of your arms, down dog. Good. Then roll forward to plank. Draw your right knee to your navel. Okay, see if you can round in more. Draw your knee to your forehead. So see if you can get your knee and your forehead to touch, and envision a scooping out of your lower belly. Glide your right foot forward and through. Come to your fingertips. Activate your back left leg. Pause for a second. Feel the weight of your back, the weight of your front right foot and the activation of your back left leg. Drag your chest through your body a little. Be patient with yourself this morning. If you have the space in your house today, you're going to bring your arms out. I should have told you to move, right? So if the arms can't go out like a T, you're hovering, your arms can be cactus, or your arms can be back. So find something that's suitable for you with your space. So your arms are out ideally if you have the space, and you're hovering. You're hovering over your front thigh, and what I mean by that is your stomach isn't just resting, right? You're using your leg strength to support the movement. More breath. Feel the weight in your right heel. Keep your arms the way that they are. Start to just bring your torso up. So if your arms are out, pivot the palms to face forward. Good. So your arms are out. Your chest, it's like warrior two arms. Sit into your right thigh. Good. Stay with your breath. Keep your arms really open. Keep them open. Straighten your right leg slowly, about 3/4 of the way. Pause. Rebend the front thigh. Pause. One more time. Straighten the right leg. Broaden your arms and your chest. Re-straighten your right leg. You're going to start to look towards your right hand. You're going to start to turn. Just your torso the best that you can. If you get stuck halfway and your right arm doesn't want to reach back anymore, slide it to the flat part of your back. Keep lengthening. Keep sitting. Just do what you can. So if your arms are cactus, that's fine too. Reach across your body. Bring your drishti back. Lengthen. Hold. Keep sitting into your front thigh bone. Begin to bring your drishti forward towards the front edge of your mat. Circle both hands to frame your front foot. Pause. Keep your right foot where it is. Turn your back foot into a warrior one foot. Just stay low to the ground. Scissor your right hip back towards the back edge of your mat and your left thigh forward. Reach your arms back, straight back, and hover again. Feel your feet press down, outer blade of left foot anchors. Root to rise, warrior one. Just take it nice and normal. So sometimes when I get up this way, I need to slide my right foot a little bit more forward. So play with that. Yeah, it's never perfect. What we do want is our hip points relatively forward, our left ribs able to turn towards the front skinny edge of the mat, and somewhat of a shape of a 90-degree-ish angle with our front leg. Lengthen up. Use the back foot, press down more. Stay with the breath. Be patient. There's nowhere to go. Hands to the floor. Step to a plank. Pause. Either hold plank or lower halfway chaturanga or support with your knees down. Pick one. Re-straighten your arms, plank position. Keep your gaze forward. Take your left knee, hug it in. Just start with the leg hugging in, get that action, and then start to round. Scoop out your lower belly, press your hands firm into the mat. Round in a little deeper. So challenging. See if you can get your shin bone away from the floor. Then look forward, glide your left foot forward. Get the right width with your feet, wide enough, long enough, come to your fingertips. Pause for a second. This can always be taken with the back knee down. Good. Then start to come up to your fingertips. If you have the space, arms go out wide. It's like warrior two arms. Yes. Good. You're hovering and you're gripping your left hip back. So if you can't take the arms out, just make do. Cactus, arms back, hands can be on hips. There's so many options. Press a little bit more into your heel and into your thigh bone. Activate your back leg. Keep your arms out. Start to lift your chest. So it's like warrior two arms. Thumbs are up, palms are forward. Broaden across your upper shoulder blades and hold. Keep your arms out. Start to straighten your left leg about 3/4 of the way. Finding your balance, finding your breath. Rebend the front thigh, not into the knee, into the thigh. Again, arms wide, straighten the left leg on track, 3/4 of the way. Rebend the front thigh. Good. Keep the arms open if you can. Start to look towards your left hand. Start to turn just your arms and your upper torso. If your left arm feels kind of chomped up, bend your left hand, place it to the flat part of your back. So just do as much as your body can take on, or do less. Keep sitting into your front thigh. Good. Hip points are forward, back leg is strong. Lengthen like warrior two arms. More breath, looks really good. I got two Jodis, both are looking strong. Begin to bring your gaze forward. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. Pause, keep your left foot where it is. Step your back foot in about 1 inch and then turn it into a strong angle, about 60 to 70 degree angle. Scissor your left hip back, your right thigh forward, reach your arms back. Hover over your left thigh with your right foot grounding. Neck is long. Root to rise, warrior one. When you get up, you may need to scoot your left foot forward. I know I do. And then I'm able to sit a little deeper into the front thigh. You should have a little movement through your right ribs. You can turn them. Press through the blade of your back foot. Another big breath. Hands to frame your front foot. Step slowly back to plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga, pause. Keep your neck long. Pull your chest to an up dog, point your toes. Take a downward facing dog, hips pressed back. Deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out. Plug your hands into the mat. Look to the front edge of your mat. You can step, you can float, you can crawl. Long spine, weight is forward. Fold over yourself. Sit into a chair pose. Most people tell me this is their least favorite pose. Yeah, something about it. Lift the chest. And they say, like in life, it's the things that you like the least that you probably need the most. Right, in an exercise standpoint, yeah. Look forward. Move your seat back. Weight in your heels. Shins then are able to move back. And then last little bit of effort here. See if you can straighten your arms a little bit more. Press up to stand. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, leave it behind. Just 3 sun Bs. We won't go crazy. Stretch the arms up. Lower your seat. Chair pose. Dive over the bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, plant your palms. You can just step back to plank and then do what you're gonna do with chaturanga, upward facing, nice and smooth, downward facing. And then right foot lands, back foot turns. No, you can always take crescent if that feels better in your body. Hands come down to plank, chaturanga or not. Upward facing dog, smile. Downward facing dog back. Left foot forward, back foot on an angle, warrior one. Hands come down, plank. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. It just works for you. Upward facing, downward facing dog, be still. Press into the mat, look forward, step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale, weight is forward. Exhale, fold over yourself. Sit again into a chair. Really nice poses, guys. They look great. Sit a little deeper. We'll just flow it. Fold over the legs. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, back foot on an angle, warrior one. Hands come down, plank. Bend your elbows just about halfway if you're going for the chaturanga. Up dog. Nice, Melissa, down dog. Left foot forward, back foot on an angle, warrior one. Keep moving. Hands come down, plank. Bend your elbows in half. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, be still. Start to pay attention to the little tiny things. Press into your hands, look where you want to go, step or float. Long spine, fold over yourself, sit again into a chair. Yep, getting warm. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float. Remember, if you float, you must land with bent elbows. Upward facing, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot on an angle, warrior one. Hands come down, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, back foot on an angle, warrior one. Hands come down, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, point. Downward facing dog, back. Good. Just pausing your down dog. And then look to the front of your mat and just glide your right foot in between your hands. Turn your back foot at an angle. If you got a block today, that's great. Place it to the instep of your foot. Yeah. Go any direction with the block. It can go super high too. You could use 2 blocks. If you don't have a block, don't sweat it. Just rest your arm on your thigh. You can take it modified. Left arm extends up. Yeah, grip your hip underneath you. That's a really hard little thing to do. So your right hip joint has to kind of tuck underneath you. And then you want to lean back into your thigh a little and spread your arms. We've kind of been practicing that already. And just check, is your left foot on a strong angle? So it should be turned forward a little. Yeah. If you want to do something with your left arm, wrap it around and take a half bind today. Yeah, half bind, if that's for you. And then turn your ribs from the bottom all the way towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Look over your left shoulder. Keep bending into your front thigh. Focus just on the inhale and the exhale breaths. How maybe they calm you, they take you deeper. Maybe you need to back out. Lean back a little and take your bottom ribs, turn them a little bit more. Feel the weight in your right heel, but use the strength of your left leg just as much. If you took a half bind, just unravel your left arm the way we all started. Spread your left palm really wide. Use the strength of your left arm and your left leg to pull you up to warrior two. Take any bounce out of the way. Focus your eyes on something that's not moving. Very challenging if you're outside. Very challenging if you're inside. Lengthen your tailbone. Turn up the inner part of your thigh. Yeah, you want to keep that nice strong external rotation. Keep your waist really long and reach your arms across your body. Close your eyes if that's available to you. Lengthen into the pose. So rather than fighting the feeling, see if you can enjoy it, embrace the feeling, if that's possible. A couple more. Where can you soften? What could you let go of? So all you're going to do is turn your palms up. Just turn your palms up. Great. Straighten your right leg 3/4 of the way. Lengthen the sides of the body up. Pause. So your arms go straight up towards the sky. Yeah. Turn your right ribs a little bit more forward. Yeah. Your front leg has a nice little bend in it. Your back leg is strong. You're energetically reaching your arms up. Just pause. Find the space that you need. Good. Your arms are going to drop back down and the palms are going to go back. Warrior two. Warrior two. Rebend the front thigh. Reach with your right hand. You're going to place your hand to the outside of your foot for a variation. So move the block from inside to outside. Right hand tense or go back arm on thigh. Left arm reaches straight up, or this time, wrap it forward. From your bicep, you turn your arm down, the baby fingertips towards the ground. Grip your right glute underneath you. Turn the bottom ribs. You got it. And if the arm reaching forward doesn't feel good, it feels like you can't breathe in the posture, you back out. You slide your arm back up. You bring your hand to your hip. You do a little less. You can experience the pose. Stay with the breath. Stay with the feeling. Just a few more, I promise. Left arm straight up. Good. Slide your hand to your hip, look down, move the block out in front of you, float to half moon. See if you can really work on isolating your right foot, your right hip, and keeping it forward. Left hand can stay on your hip. It can also slide alongside the body. Turn your bottom ribs, start to look over your left shoulder, or maybe slide your left arm up. You get wobbly and you fall, it's okay. And then work on lightness, maybe coming from 5 fingers on your right hand to 4 or 3 or 2, or maybe even softening a little behind your right knee so there's a little bend, and sliding your right hand to press on the top of your right shin. Keep lifting the side of your body up. A few more. Yeah, and if we fall out, it's a good sign that we're testing our limits a little. Good. Wherever you are, come back to regular version of this. Look to the floor. Left hand comes down, square your hips. Slide your feet together. Now sit into chair pose. Weight goes into your heels. Stretch your arms up. Might as well get it out of the way. Slide your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and twist to the right. Just be really mindful here, especially if your lower back is sensitive, that you're not turning your body, okay? Your seat moves back, your weight moves back, your thighs stay together as one unit. And the only thing that's really moving is your upper ribs and your gaze. Your gaze can go up. If you want to open up your arms, that may feel really good today. Shift the weight back into your heels. Squeeze the inner thighs together and twist a little deeper. Wherever you are, we're going to pull back around to a chair pose, look forward. Keep dropping your seat, like really drop your seat so your seat is in line with your knees, your weight is back. You start to slowly lower down to a boat navasana version of it today. You're going to take your legs and just bend them in half. Grab behind your thighs, lift your torso. Spark up your toes. Yeah, just do this much. I remember those days when I could straighten my legs in this posture. Yeah, those are far behind me. So now we just work like this. It's just as effective. Slide your arms forward. Spark up your toes, thigh bones towards your navel, chest lifted. What we want to avoid is our low back. More importantly, the heck with the straight legs. Stretch the arms up. Good. Stay with it. Lift a little higher. Good. Slide the palms flat to the floor. Plant them. Arms zip up so your hands are forward. More forward. Your chest is lifted. You're going to lower to a low boat. Flex your toes. Shoulder blades lift. Palms stay down. If the legs forward, low to the floor is putting pressure on your low back, just lift them up. Lift them up to a level that works for you. This is going to be the most intense, hovering the floor. Think about scooping out your lower belly. Keep pressing the palms down. Flex your toes. Lift the shoulder blades, the upper thoracic spine up. Keep your hands down. Bend your knees. Navasana with your palms flat. Cross your ankles. Plant the palms. Step to a down dog or float through a vinyasa. It's up to you. Meet me in a downward facing dog. We're doing great. From down dog, step your left foot forward. Okay, you're gonna go right into a warrior, a low setup for warrior two, but don't come up. You're gonna take your block, place it to the instep, left hand down, right arm up. Remember, your right leg is on a strong angle. Yeah, right arm looks up, gaze goes up. You got it. Make sure the stance is long enough, it's wide enough. And then if you want to do something with your right arm, right hand can wrap around. You could take a half bind. Good. It's good to get in the habit of doing things in steps, just not going to the end. Look over your right shoulder, turn your bottom ribs, lean back a little bit. Grip your bottom hip underneath you. Nice work. Crown of the head is forward. Anchor through your feet. Stay with it. Wherever you are, unravel your right arm. Think about your right arm and your right leg. Let that pull you up, warrior two. Widen the stance if you need to. Drop your tailbone. Open up your torso. Lengthen the sides of your body. Pick something to focus on. Remember, your palms are forward and your thumbs are up in this version today. Turn the inside of your thigh open. Pay attention to the little things. Close your eyes for a few breaths if that's available to you. Empower yourself with this pose. A few more. I always say you start to collect things in this posture. Lighten your load right here. All you're gonna do is turn your palms up. Just do that much. Now, as you move the energy, you're gonna straighten your left leg only 3/4 of the way, and your arms are gonna raise up, shoulder width distance. Good, so you feel the sides of your body. Now with your left leg a little bent, take your left ribs and turn them a little, so you're more even. Stay with it, zip up the core, zip up the sides of your triceps, reach towards the sky. Feel your feet. Flip the palms down, rebend the front thigh, warrior two. Then with that action, reach and slide a block to the outside of your left foot for an A variation of extended side angle. Then you may have the space to wrap your right arm forward. Lean back a little bit, yeah. Press the outer part of your left thigh against the inside of the left arm. Take the bottom ribs, turn them open, yeah. And grip your left hip under you. Use the power of your right foot, the angle of that right foot to press down and then lengthen more. Float your right arm up, slide it to your hip, everybody. Look down, make the transition smooth, float into a half moon. Then maybe slide your right arm alongside your body. Maybe reach your right arm up. Stay connected. And if you fall, you come back. Lift from your inner right thigh, and then start to find the little things that you want to work on. Maybe it's just your breath. Maybe it's your focus. Maybe it's getting your 5 fingers that are down your left hand to 4 or 3 or 2, or maybe it's softening behind your left knee a little more and seeing if you can bring your hand to your shin. If you fall, come back, give it one more whirl. Spark up your right toes. Wherever you travel to, find your way back to a regular half moon. And then bring your dristi down. Right hand comes to the floor, square your hips. Slide your feet together at the top of your mat and sit into a chair. Draw your seat back, lift your arms up. Stay with me, guys, you're doing great. Bring your hands to prayer at heart. Inhale that breath. Turn just the ribs towards the left. Hook the elbow. Stay in touch with your legs. Make sure the right leg isn't sliding past the left. Seat staying nice and even. Weight is back. Crown of the head forward. Open up your arms if you want more, only if that feels good. Doesn't pull or tug on your shoulders or take you out. Keep the shape of your legs wherever you are. Pull around to chair. Look forward. Press up to stand. Draw your hands to prayer. Let your arms go. Stand up tall in your body for a second. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Stand on your right leg. Draw your left knee to your navel. Flex your foot. Just do that. So just lift your left leg up to a 90-degree angle. Flex your toes. Stand up strong on your right leg. Open your arms wide. Once again, if this is unavailable, cactus your arms. Cactus the arms. You can do it. Or turn. You can turn in your house. Any direction. Good. Keep the lift of your left thigh. Don't let that leg go. And you're just going to work on keeping it bent here. Start to turn just your ribs. So your right arm is going to go and line up with your front left thigh. And your left arm is going to start to wrap back. Yeah, so you're taking this twist, like an air twist, with your left leg bent in half. If the left arm feels stuck, just slide it to the flat part of your back and just do half of it. Breathe more breath into your upper torso. Breathe into your hip flexor as you lift the leg just a little bit higher. For 2 breaths, if you want to try and straighten out your left leg, give it a try. Lift it up from your thigh. Inhale the breath, lift it up. Exhale the breath. One more. Inhale, broaden. Exhale, rebend. It's hard as heck. Good. Keep the lift of your leg. Start to bring just your torso forward. Arms are still out. Turn just your palms up. Sweep your arms up. Good. Bend into your right leg. Wrap your left thigh around. Wrap your left arm, eagle. I was teaching eagle the other day. The leg was bent and the toe, the big toe, is just resting on the ground. So it looks like this, guys. Your top leg would be a kickstand. And then you're just focusing on the lower half of the body, creating the shape of a chair pose. So your butt does need to stick back. Elbows lift up. Hooking the foot around is kind of just like the icing on the cake. Like, it tastes good though. Sit a little deeper. Lift your elbows up a little higher. Release, arms up, hands to prayer. Drop your arms by your side body, stand tall. Just breathe. Left leg strong. That's just, all you need to do is just the left leg strong. Right leg lifts up, 90-degree angle, flex the foot. Open your arms wide. Palms face forward like warrior 2 with the thumbs up. Just do that much. Keep the lift of the thigh. Keep the strength of your left leg. Start to turn your body, your torso. Left arm's gonna line up with your right knee. Right arm's gonna reach back. Right arm feels jammed up, just slide it to the flat part of your back. Lengthen your waist. Get out of your low back. Breathe across your body. Start to move your eyes a little towards the back wall if you can. Last little bit, if you want to try working on straightening your right leg at any level, give it a try. It could even be low. Lift from the thigh bone. Reach across your body. Everybody rebend the right thigh. Pause. Keep the lift of your right thigh. Just turn your torso back towards center, arms out. Lift the thigh bone up. Flip the palms. Sweep the arms up. Move your energy cleanly. Bend into your left leg. Wrap the right thigh around. And then simultaneously wrap your right arm. Eagle. Remember the trick with the big toe. It can act as a kickstand, and you can just work on the alignment. Stick your butt out and drop your left thigh down. Lift your elbows up. You want to avoid tugging. Here we go, guys. Sit a little deeper. Release. Arms up. Hands to prayer. Slide your hands to your hips. Step your left foot back. Walk your right foot to the right. Good. Yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to slide our right hand to the flat part of our back. Actually, try it this way if you have the space. Go with the arms open again, because you may have a little bit more range of motion. And then begin to pivot and sweep your arms in opposite directions. Your right arm reaches towards the back skinny edge of your mat, and your left arm reaches forward. Yeah. Stand up really tall. So for those of my students that lower back doesn't feel great, this is a great way to take a twist because you're really out of your low back. You're only twisting where there's a rib. Stay upright. If I'm speaking to you, or if this feels good for you, stay upright. If you like to move on, begin to hinge and bring your left palm to your shin, your right shin. If you prefer a block, place it up high, any level, stack the two arms. Right hand can come to the flat part of your back. Keep moving your hips back, guys. Looks really good, Jody. Yeah. Good, so move your hips towards the back of your mat. Looks good, Margaret. If your back heel is lifted, you may need a little bit of a smaller step in. All right, either stay here or look down, move your block out in front of you. You're gonna float up to revolved Ardha. Hand can just come to the flat part of your back. Your weight shifts forward. The block is directly underneath your left shoulder. Back leg lifts kind of like a warrior three leg. Top arm may extend up. Just a few breaths. If you're still in revolved triangle, that is fine, just stay there. The rest of us can work on lifting and scissoring our inner thighs together. Another big breath in. Right hand comes to the floor, pause. Take a giant step back to the back of the mat. You're in a low lunge. Yeah, keep the toes curled into the mat. Drop the knee like we did earlier. Sweep your arms up. Drag your hands to a prayer. Turn your ribs to the right and then hook the elbow. Start with the back knee down with the toes curled. Scissor the hips and the thighs together. And then if you feel like you want to pop that kneecap up off the ground, go for it. But that's optional. If you want to open up your arms today, that may feel really good. If you want to wrap and bind, you could bind and slide your hand around the outer part of your thigh and interlace the hands. Ride the breath here. Lean back a tiny bit. Let the crown of the head line up with your left heel. Squeeze the right hip in. Activate your left thigh bone just a tiny bit more. Look to the floor, place both hands down. Step to a plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Drag yourself through an up dog. Pause in your up dog if that's available to you. Feel the tops of the feet press down. Feel the thigh bones lift. Press through your hands. From your hips, up and back, downward facing dog. Exhale all the breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. So last little standing bit here. Bring your hands to your hips. Step your right foot back about 3 feet. Yep. Open your arms wide. Yeah. Keep your legs and your pelvis really rooted, neutral. And that's not moving at all. You're going to begin to just turn. Just turn. So now your right hand lines up with your front left toes. Your left hand, you know, everyone's going to be a little different. Some are a little stuck. So you just go with what you can go with. Reach back. If it's really stuck, place it on the flat part of your back. But breathe life across your chest. Then either choose, stay here, or bring your hand to your shin. The left arm should stack nicely, or it can be on the flat part of your back. Reach for a block if you prefer. Keep moving your hips back. The idea is we get to the pose and we feel grounded. We feel ready for it, wherever it's going to take us. So Patty, see if you can soften your right shoulder. I have the tendency to do the same thing. My shoulder likes to roll in. Yeah, so soften it. Nice. So stay with this. This may be a good spot for some of you just to hang for a few more good breaths. If you'd like to move on, you can slide your hand to the flat part of your back, move your block out in front of you, and you'll float up into revolved Ardha. Think of a warrior 3 with your right hand down. Lift from your inner right thigh, keep your hand on the flat part of your back, or peel your left arm open. Scissor your inner thighs, lift the leg up a little higher, and then look to the left. Gaze starts to move to the floor, both hands come down. Wherever you are, a giant step back to the back of your mat into a low lunge. Drop your knee, make sure it's on an angle, keep the toes curled into the mat, sweep your arms up. Drag your hands to prayer, start to turn to the left, and then with that, hook the elbow. This is another one. If your back isn't good, you just stay up. This is a good place to be. You could stay like this. I like this a lot. This feels really good. Engage the back leg if you want more, or just stay down. Got it. Lean back a little, maybe open up your arms. Some of you may even be ready for a bind. Nice, really gorgeous poses, guys. Stay with this. Two more. Start to unravel, look to the floor. Place both hands down. Step to a plank, pause and plank. Bring your gaze just a tad forward. Yeah. Drop to your forearms, forearm plank. Yep. Lengthen. Okay, let me show you an alternative to forearm plank. If something's going on in your body, this doesn't feel good for you. Drop your knees, uncurl your toes. Anchor from your knees to the tops of your shins, down. Keep your forearms spread wide across the mat, broaden your chest. If you notice, if you're doing this correctly, your core should be lifted from the ground. You're not in Sphinx, and you feel your abdominal wall engaged. Do you feel that? Yeah, this is an option if forearm plank is just not your friend today. If you'd like more, lift the kneecaps. Ride the breath and bring your weight forward. Good. Keep your right hand down or turn it in a little if that feels good for you. Forearm side plank. Left arm extends up. If this is too much, drop your bottom knee. Take it supported. Lift from your bottom hip, stack the two shoulders and the two hips nicely on top of one another. Look up. Move your gaze to the floor. Left forearm slowly comes back, forearm plank, reset. Left forearm can stay straight or it can turn in a little. Begin to roll. Stack the 2 feet, slide the right arm up. Begin to look up. 2 hips line up. This top hip doesn't open, guys. Spark up your toes. Start to move your eyes down. Forearm plank. Stay with it. Right arm straightens, left arm straightens, plank position. Lean onto your right hand, side plank. Just a breath or two, I promise. Or 7. Look down, left hand goes flat, roll right to the other side. Side plank, lift from the waist, drive the right arm up, look up. Right hand down, plank position. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself to an up dog. Thank gosh. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Slide your right knee forward, come into a half pigeon, you work for it. You earned it. Half pigeon right side. If this doesn't feel available, go onto your back, take ankle to knee. That would look like this. This is an ankle to knee that's passive, right? It's okay to be passive. External rotation of your right thigh. If you were near a wall, you could lift your left leg up and take your foot into the wall, or you can do it this way. Option for half pigeon. Yeah. We're almost done. Last little bit of work. Okay, use the strength of your body, press yourself up, lean onto the right butt cheek, move the leg forward a little, slide the left leg forward. So you're kind of setting your legs up for a little mini tree. We're not doing it though. Right hand's gonna come behind you. If you know sail pose, the wrist must face the back of the mat, guys. Very important that it's not turned in an awkward position so you don't injure it. So you're gonna inhale your breath, you're gonna exhale, you're gonna lift yourself up. Now, if you can get your left foot flat to the floor, that's great. Press through the right arm, lift the waist. My hips are kind of turned a little. And then stretch, it's a back bend. Use the strength of your left leg and foot to get you out of your low back though, and really lift you from your waist. Lower yourself down, good. Sweep, there's no pretty way to get out, just step to a down dog. Yeah, just step back, downward facing dog. If you need to refresh, do that. And then find your way left side half pigeon. Set yourself up, make this feel good. So just a few key points for those of you that may need them in this pose. The top of your right foot stays down. Your right thigh bone is moving in the direction of the floor. That way your pelvis and hips are as even as we can to the mat. I don't know how this feels in your body, but ideally if you do want to bring yourself down, it's going to give you a different stretch. I had a few of my students yesterday working with Sphinx arms here. So that's what I'm doing right here. A few more. Good, start to come up really slow. Lean onto your left butt cheek, slide your right leg forward. Create this little tree shape with your legs. Remember where your wrist is, it has to be facing back. You're gonna press up, straighten your right leg, and then wrap your right arm up and back. Nice work. Exhale your breath, come down. You're gonna hit the floor. If you do have a block today, take it. Just a few more things. And you're gonna bend your legs. Take your feet onto the, I'm just gonna elevate you for a 5-pointed star to open up our groin. So your feet are gonna be on the block. If you don't have a block, pillow, anything to just kind of create that, effect, okay? Inhale your breath, lift your chest, make sure your feet stay together. So you can either begin to hinge forward or your hands can come back and you can work on just staying really upright. This feels pretty good, yeah. Flex your feet a lot. Press the balls of your feet together and the base of your heels. Wherever you are, if you're coming more forward, that's fine. That's more of a forward fold. For those that are more like me, I'm taking this more just keeping my body really upright and just working my inner and outer thighs and hips. Good. To come out nice and slow. Take your feet down, move the block. We're just set up for 2 final back bends before we go into a Shavasana, okay? So take your block with you if you prefer a supported version of this. Slide the block any direction underneath your lower back. So if you try and put the block and then lay down, it's a really difficult way to get in. So get yourself with your back down first, lift your hips, and then place the block. Clasp the hands, interlace them around the block, anchor your feet. So I'm going to cue this first, and then those that want to travel on can. So lay down first. Yeah, okay, Jody, that was weird. Your screen froze. It was like you were in the process of getting the block there. Good, your legs can go up. This is flushing lactic acid. Nice. Interlace your hands around the base of the block. Arms go straight. And then you're gonna get a back bend by cupping your shoulder blades together. If you'd like to go up into a full wheel, okay, now would be the time. Flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest, take a giant breath in, exhale your breath, and bring yourself up. Kristen, move your legs a little bit closer, a little bit away from you, about 1 inch or 2, and then you're in good shape, right there. I don't think anyone into full wheel except Jody. Yeah, Jody L. Tuck your chin, Jody, when you're ready, and come out with control. Nice work. If your legs are up, bend your legs in half. Take your feet flat to the floor. Once your feet come down, then you remove the block out from underneath you. And then very slowly, you let your tailbone come down to the mat. And you take a breath in and a breath out. Good. And then keeping your feet hips width distance, just drop your knees, take your hips to the left and drop your knees to the right. They're kind of shimmied like this. And then your right hand can come to the flat side of your left hip, and then left arm opens. Good, and then roll to center. Keep your feet a little wider, lift your hips up, take them to the right, and then just drop them so they're a little more uneven here. Roll up to center. Any final movements here that you need? And then the most important part of the practice, I know we all are busy, set up for Shavasana, complete rest. Use a block, make a little pillow. Yeah. Separate your feet wide, separate your arms wide, turn your palms open, close your eyes. Let go of your breathing. Obviously you have to breathe, but just breathe normal. Draw in a really big breath through your nose. Exhale loudly through your mouth. Bring your arms slowly up over the top of your head. Full stretch from fingertips to toes. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And use your own body strength to just come up slowly to a seated position. Try and keep your eyes closed if you can. Bring your hands to a prayer. Bow your head for a second. Have some closure. Have some gratitude for this great practice. Lift your head. Open your eyes. Namaste. Really nice job. Thanks for joining me. Let me know if you've